Okay, I got the recorder on, yes. So this is our 4th week in our diamond training, and this week is all about building a team and just growing your team. And once you get to diamond, then you have these people underneath you. What do you do with them? And how do you get to diamond, really? So we are super excited for our speaker tonight. A lot of us in here apparently follow you, Sarah, because when we posted that you were our guest speaker, people were like, I can't wait to hear from her. So we were like, yay, we got somebody that everybody connected with. But Sarah hit recently 7-star in her first business center and 3-star in her second business center. So clearly she knows how to grow a team and have that team vibe going on. So I definitely don't want to waste our time talking. We want to hear from you. And I have the recording on, so we will definitely share the recording with everybody when we're all done. Okay?
Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm excited that you guys are kind of familiar with my story and all that. I love following other coaches, and that's exactly how you start and you figure out what you're doing is you just follow people that you connect with, and you learn from what they're doing, and you just try to emulate and make it your own. And I'm really honored to be on this call. I love your team, and I love the fact that you guys are in the middle of your own push to diamond, and I'm kind of going to cover a little bit of running your own groups like this, so it fits in perfectly. But what I want to start off with is I want to tell you guys all, I was a really, really, really big fake it till you make it type coach when I started, and I still am. Like, seriously, you might think that my challenge groups are packed full every month. Not even close. You might think that, I have people knocking on my door to join my team. That couldn't be further from the truth. But I make everybody feel like they are. I make people feel like my groups are like 1 in a million. I make people feel my team is special and I love them to death. But I make people feel like it's a really special opportunity to get the chance to join my team. You have to use that mentality, that fake it till you make it mentality, to grow your team and to attract people to you, no matter if you have 1 coach or 10 coaches. You guys all in here, I was told, are emerald and above, so I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on telling you things that you already should be doing. But remember, growing a team starts with you, and you have to be living proof of what this can do for your life to inspire your coaches. Sometimes it's really hard to look at top coaches and relate to them because they seem so far ahead of you. But if you as an emerald coach or a diamond coach or a star diamond coach can specifically share what you're doing and how it impacts your life, both to your audience and to your team, that is going to be so much more relatable. You have to remember that your social media is your storefront. And what you display on that storefront will be what you attract. So sometimes it's so hard to know if we're sharing enough or what to share. So I created a breadcrumb list for my team. There's 2 of them, a breadcrumb list for coaching and a breadcrumb list for challenge groups. And I'll share those with you guys after the call if you want. But use those lists of breadcrumbs around your month schedule, around your events, and around your groups. And weave them into your story so that your audience can live through this experience by what you post. Take a really good hard look at your posts. And I'll get to this a little later too, but find somebody that you can marry. So somebody who's going to tell it to you like your spouse, tell you what your page needs, tell you what your posts need. When your spouse critiques you and initially you're like pissed off and you're like, yeah, right, whatever. And then later you're like, oh crap, you were right. Maybe you admit it, maybe you don't, but deep down that they're right. Find that person that you can propose to that will keep you accountable in this. Find your Beachbody partner and somebody who's going to be real and tell you what you need to grow your business, that raw feedback that you can take from them. This is your livelihood. Like I said, it's your storefront. So take as much critique as you can. What you display there is going to depend what types, if any at all, of customers and coaches that you attract. So I was just on a call this morning with a coach, and I was encouraging her to post more value in her page. And sometimes it's really hard, we hear that all the time, share value. Well, what the heck does that even mean? And I started babbling, and I'm like, gosh, I just wish people would stop posting pictures, please don't get offended, stupid pictures of like a thumbs up with their Shakeology bottle and a thumbs up in front of their workout. Well, what the heck does that mean? Like, a thumbs up is like, yeah, cool, I like this, but like, what does that mean to your audience? Like, nothing. You have to show them why you're giving it a thumbs up, Why is that workout deserving of a thumbs up? Why is the shake deserving of a thumbs up? Does that workout help your abs get back in shape? Or does that workout give you more energy? Does that shake give you more energy? Did that shake help you pass up the donut? What is it about those things that are giving you the thumbs up? You have to take it one step further. And that's what value is. Value is giving people the inside scoop, not just the outside picture. I was just having her say, share every vulnerable part of your story. I look back at when I first started, and I shared a lot more value then, and this is all learning for me too, and this is things that I need to get better at as well. But like when I was first starting, I didn't know, even though I'm a nurse, I didn't really know how to read nutrition labels. But when I was learning how, I shared that with everybody. So as you're learning, share those things with your groups and with your page. Just like how we encourage our new coaches to post in our team pages their questions, because everybody else has that same question, but they're too afraid to ask it. It's the same thing with your page. Anything you Google, which I know you should be because Google is a coach's best friend, those are things you should be posting about, because you're not the only one that's wondering that. And you have to be relatable to your audience and share with them that you don't know everything. If you just learned what non-GMO means, or you just read a good article about organic versus non-organic, share those things, because you have to share with them that you're learning with them. Just like when we do our programs with our groups. When you're in the trenches with them, it's a night and day difference. And same thing with your coaches. We'll get to that too. Okay, so on to the good stuff. So I was always so bugged and irked when I would like spend my time on a weeknight when I was working 80 hours a week, and I plugged into these trainings, and all I hear was, oh, the vital behaviors, oh, consistency, yeah. Well, freaking A, I wanted to know what you're doing. Like, I need the secret sauce. Like, how do you get to 10-star? Like, what are you doing inside those groups? What are you doing beyond the vital behaviors? We all know that those are the important things. But, like, really, what are you doing inside that builds you to those powerhouse teams? So, first thing is, if you have people that are pushing for diamond or emerald, like I was getting at earlier, you have to do it with them. Get in the trenches with them. I always tell my coaches that I'm building myself to emerald over and over and over again. Whether my goal is 10-star or 2-star or diamond, I'm focusing on building the emerald over and over. Emeralds are the absolute bread and butter of this business. The more emeralds, I wish we would even skip push to diamond groups and just run emerald factories, because that's really what this is. And that's going to just triple your volume and your foundational strength too. So find those people that really want this, that want emerald, that want diamond, and get them together in a smaller group and teach them what you're doing. Teach them to use an event page. to run a challenge group or to invite to a challenge group. Run a challenge group together with those people. Give them the tools to use. The more resources you provide for them allows them to work smarter, not harder. And then they're going to be able to focus on the things that they need to do to build their team and to get to those goals to drive their business forward. So you have to make things duplicatable. So for example, I share my failures all the time. We run a new coach mentorship and a glimpse group the first Monday of every month in my team. And normally I'm pretty good about sharing like a flyer that they can personalize with some blank space. They can add their team name and, they can post it on their social media. And I usually give them like an example of a script they can post on their social media, as well as an example of a personal message they can send. And our glimpse have been amazing. We have like close to 2,000 people in our group. I mean, they invite like madhouses because they're literally just handed these tools to replicate. They don't even have to take more than 2 seconds to use them. This month, I did not do that. And we only had like 50 people added to our glimpse, which is not bad, but it was a fraction of what we normally do because I didn't make it easy for them. And not saying that you should, spoon feed your coaches by any means, but I attract, like attracts like. So I attracted a team of crazy workhouse full-time people working 3, 4, 5 jobs with 5 kids and have million, things on their to-do list, just like me, which is a curse, unfortunately. But like, I need to know that, they're working on their lives too. If I can just hand them a couple tools to make this a little bit easier, they run with it. And that's what you need to do. You need to make this duplicatable for them. So, get them together in a small group and teach them, okay, Monday morning, we're all going to post a before and after picture. And then we're going to all breadcrumb throughout the week. And then on this day, we're all going to post a call to action. You guys can all like and comment on each other's posts, boost each other up, and then run a challenge group together and create a message thread or a private group where you're sharing messages back and forth. You're sharing how you're inviting. You're sharing rejections that you're getting. You're working through it together. You're helping people with verbiage, saying, you know what, maybe try saying this next time. Maybe try saying that next time. Working through it together. Ask them, teach them how to ask for referrals. Ask them to post below who they asked for referrals, that extra step of accountability. Ask them to submit to you a list of their rockstar challengers, who's doing really great, and then teach them to take that list and challenge them to invite them to be a discount coach. Give them scripts on how to do that. Literally show them how to do all this stuff. So you're walking through the process of finding potential challengers. You can do the same thing with like a glimpse group. Walk them through all this stuff, breadcrumbing to coaching, and grooming those relationships right there in the trenches with them. Remember, you're never going to have a team that does things that you don't do. So it literally starts by you leading from the front and leading by example. But with that, you have to remember to show them what you're doing for it to work. So, you can't just expect that they all see, just like how you can't see your entire downline, what they're posting on social media every day. They don't see what you're doing either. So you have to bring that back to your team page and say, you know what? Hey team, I just used this post and it worked really well for engagement. Check it out, give it a try. Or hey, I just used this personal message and it's working really well for me. Make it your own and give it a try. The second thing I wanted to share is help your coaches find a routine that works for them. I only work one-to-one with the willing because some simply just don't know where to start and they really need that one-to-one grooming. Sit down or get on a phone call with them and ask them what their goals are and help them reverse engineer it, because it's really easy to say, I want to be 5-star. And for some of us, we can just easily make a plan and get there over time. But other people, it's really difficult to break down the smaller steps and how to get there. So if you help break it apart with them week by week and give them small attainable goals, it will do a world of difference. But I always have them follow back up with me. I leave the ball in their court. I am not here to micromanage them, but I'm always here to help if they come to me. I'm not the type of coach that will pop in your inbox every Friday and be like, how many Success Club points do you have? How many invites have you sent? That's not what this is about. But if you give them the tools, they should run with it. And with that being said, you can also, take it a step further. And I'm actually, it's on my to-do list is really stinking long right now since going back to work. But it's on my to-do list. I'm going to do another Google Doc for my coaches and have them fill out their goals via a Google Doc. So then I have it on hand so that when they do utilize the opportunity to get on a call with me, I'm able to pull it up. And I usually try to look through their social media too right before and give them a little feedback. And then I can say, okay, you said this was your goal. This is what we planned on doing. I looked at your page and you haven't posted anything about your team in 7 days. Your actions aren't aligning with your goals. And you have things right in front of you to help you tell them and teach them what to do. The third thing I wanted to share is that I know it takes the vital behaviors and consistency to get to Diamond. We all know that, and I know it takes the vitals to maintain. But how do you develop leaders and grow once you're starting to get a team? Those are the things I wanted to know, but I didn't have the time to waste because I wanted a team and I wanted a team now. So I'll share with you one of the most valuable things I did when I was a brand new Diamond. I used that fake it till you make it mentality, and I just decided to start my own push group. I was seeing all these, TKO 60-day star diamond with 18 top coaches and all these fancy, bright, shiny things. But I was like, they keep telling me to do these basic things. I'm just going to make a group on the basic things. If those are really as important as everybody says, that's really all these groups should be about, is the vital behaviors. So that's kind of what I did. So we called it a push to leadership group. And I took myself and my up and coming leaders on my team. Some were just Emerald coaches at the time, because an Emerald is a leader and Emerald has a team. And we led this group together, and we included all of our downlines, and we split into small cohorts of like 5 people or so. And each leader would take charge of a specific cohort. And we tried to mix it up a little bit. So like not all my coaches were with me, so they could learn from other leaders, because it's always different when you hear it from somebody else. But we mixed it up. And the only thing that was required in this group was that you posted a picture of your tracker and your vital behaviors every single day. And the leader of the cohort had a list of 5 names, and they would check off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every day that they checked in with those 5 people every day, and gave them strikes if they didn't. And then the other thing you had to do was you had to attend 1 Zoom call a week. So all of us leaders, I think there was maybe 5. We chose 5 different times to host Zooms throughout the week. So literally there was no excuses. There was morning ones, night times, weekends. You had to find just one that worked, even if it wasn't your group leader, and get on that Zoom. And if you didn't do those 2 things every week, you were kicked out. It was simple as that. And then that kept everybody in track. And they're like, oh my gosh, these trackers work. Oh my gosh, it really works when you invite every day. Oh my gosh, it really works when you post every day. And then we took it up a notch, and we only ran it for 3 weeks. I don't like the big groups. I lose focus, and I stopped paying attention after like week 2. So we kept it real short and simple, 3 weeks. And we took it up a notch. Is your sack going off? I have that little monitor, that outlet monitor, it's beeping at us. So then we took it up a notch, and we used that mentality where I was saying earlier, find that partner in this business that will keep you accountable. And we partnered everybody up. The leaders were in charge of giving their members a social media report card. And this was probably the most valuable piece of it. It was time consuming for the leaders, and I might mix it up next time and kind of only have people do it for 2 people. But you would follow them. You didn't tell them when. It was a surprise. One of the weeks out of the training, you'd follow their posts for 1 week, and you would grade them. Some people wouldn't post the entire week. And we didn't tell them that we were doing this either. It was a total surprise. So all of a sudden they got this report card with like an F on it of their social media. And they were like, whoa, you know, and we amped them up. We're all like, oh, we got a big surprise for you, you know, da 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 da. And then they were all like antsy to find out the surprise. And then that's what it was. But it was a tool that they were able to be like, oh, wow, I really do have to step it up, because that is the storefront of your business. So that was a really great thing that we did. And, you know, there was no webinars, there was no slideshows. The Zooms were not scripted. What we did in the Zooms was we had people share their verbiage of their messages. So you couldn't just say, oh yeah, I invited 5 people today. Well, let me see. Screen share, show me your 5 messages. Because you know how many times people, it's so easy to say, oh yeah, I worked out today, I'm real sweaty, you know, yeah, right, liar. You know, like you have to take that accountability up a notch. That's what developing leaders is. You can't just give them the tools, you have to show them how to use them and keep them accountable. So screen sharing their messages, screen sharing their objections and everything, just really making it a really vulnerable group to be able to share these things that were happening and break through them together. Yeah, really? She's talking. Break through them together and work through objections, work through plateaus, you know, and there were so many success partners that were made out of that group, and it was just so awesome. Still to this day, it's the best group I've ever run, by far, the most productive. And my leaders still talk about it being their favorite group. And I have a couple of my leaders who are doing that with their downlines now, right now, because it was the best group that we've ever ran. It was the easiest, you know, because we just did it together and we were just doing the vital behaviors. So let me see. I have a list here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. And then one more quick note. So remember to bless and release. And you can only, as a leader, work with the willing. So it's really true, that 80-20 rule. You know, the 20% of your team that is producing and showing up, taking your tips and putting them into action, those are the people that deserve your time. Those are the people that you check in when you're working on your team. And then they wanted me to just briefly touch on team atmosphere, because, you know, once you're growing this team, it's really important to keep that fun alive, you know, keep the reason we're all doing this there. Just like in your challenge groups, when they start to fizzle off, you don't want that to happen in your team. And some things that I do in my team page that I feel like contribute to that team sense is we do every Sunday, it's called a Sunday share. And it's where we share just something awesome that happened in our life that week. We're able to end the week on a positive note, reflecting on like an amazing blessing, or, you know, nothing to do with the business, just personal. Then we get to read all these things and get to know each other a little bit more. I also have a separate group for my team that people who want to be a part of our prayer group. And so we're all in there and we submit prayer requests and we pray for each other. And it's just an awesome way to like get to know each other and really understand like maybe a struggle that they're going through and be there for them on another level. We also do something sporadically called the Diamond Spotlight, where I take my Diamond coaches and they're in charge for a week and they post a little tip every single day of what they do. There's no agenda, no format. They're a leader. They just share what's valuable to them. And it's really cool then for other people in our team to get to see them and learn from them. And then we do really great at shouting out people for accomplishments. And, you know, like, oh, so-and-so had a really great social media post, go check it out. Or, you know, shouting each other out for your own personal weight loss, because so much of the time we lose our focus on our own selves when, you know, we shout out our challengers, but we're still in this too. You know, like we're still working on our own transformations and drinking our shakes every day and all that jazz. So just make it more friendly, make it more, I don't want to say take the focus off Beachbody, but in a way do it, you know, like maybe one day say, post a picture of your animal below, you know, who made their bed today? Screenshot your bed, laugh at each other for a messy room. Ha ha. Share your laundry pile, like just stupid stuff that you can laugh about and joke about and bond over random things, because that's what this is about. It's a community outside of this. And that's what makes it so much stronger and so much more fun. But that's all I got for you. If you guys want to ask questions, I think we have some time.
That was amazing. I want to watch it again. And I didn't want to take notes right now because I wanted to just watch. Now I want to watch it again and take notes. That was so good.
Oh, good. I hope you have some things that you guys can apply.
For sure.
Planning out the dates for my, I really wanted to run that group again with my whole downline, but it's getting so big that I'm going to just do it with my PS coaches again. I'm going to try to time it out closer to Summit with the quals and everything like that. But it really is a game changer for my team.
One of the things that was commented in our group was, I'm so excited because Deidre and I both don't work anymore, outside the house. And so someone said, I'm so excited to hear from someone that works full time and tries to, well, not anymore, but you were, and tries to grow, work a work a beach body business. So like you were saying, you were doing all those groups and stuff. How are you what times are you finding to work your business, and how are you getting it all done?
In the beginning, and I kind of talked about this on my coach call today too, I feel like that's going to be a really big growing pain for me now, going to only working Beachbody at the hospital one day a week or whenever I want, because I don't want people to be like, oh, well, you can do it because you work this full time. Well, that's because I have 800 people to keep track of, when I was Diamond and up to 7-star, I was working, 40-hour weeks. And it's just about making that to-do list only what's going to drive your business forward. Quit scrolling on Facebook. Get off Pinterest. Don't watch a million YouTube videos and write them down and forget that you ever wrote down those tools. If you're going to watch a YouTube or you're going to watch a training, you better be immediately implementing those things. Otherwise, that's wasted time, in my opinion. You have to work from a list of only things that are going to move you forward when you have limited time.
No, that's so true, for sure.
But you just have to, I always kind of relate it back to the Dave Ramsey. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with his envelope system. And he always says you have to delegate a role for every single dollar, or that's when money gets wasted. If your dollar doesn't have a purpose, then it's going to be spent on something meaningless. Same thing with your minutes. If your minutes are not assigned to something full of purpose, it's going to pass by without being utilized.
Right. Are you really good with your planner? Do you plan out and do you block that out, or are you able to just do it mentally?
No, I am a huge computer geek. Not computer geek. Why did I say that? I hate computers. I don't know where that came from. I meant to say planner geek. I totally geek out on my planner. It's my lifeline. I have so that's for keeping track of my posts and things I want to tell my team, reminders I have to send out, and then my breadcrumbs. So I make sure I'm not blabbing too much about coaching and whatnot. But then I recently, last year, when my life got out of control, I went to the iCalendar on the iPhone and the Mac or whatever, and I have it color coded. So Beachbody's all green. My hospital job was orange. And I was able to block out, specific chunks of time. And that was really nice because my husband has an iPhone too, and we can share calendars. So he knows exactly when I'm going to be doing that, or when I'm going to be gone. And it was helpful for me too, to be able to break it apart and then try to stick to that, because I could literally work Beachbody 24 hours a day if I wanted to. It's really hard for me to walk away. So when I have that delegated time, it helps me really power through instead of just aimlessly. I still am randomly on my phone here and there throughout the day, but when I'm really tackling my to-do list is during those blocked off times.
I like that about sharing with your husband, because we do, we always hear, you know, it's the first thing the husband says is, you're on your phone all the time, you're on this. And yeah, it's kind of like if they knew the times, or if they, you know, knew I have a call this, you know, just really just communicating. But yeah, I like that sharing calendar. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, and that all changed after she came too. And we've been seeing the same counselor since our premarital counseling, and she was actually the one that was like, you have to both be on the same page with this, you know, like you have to, now that she's here, you know, John, you're responsible for her Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 11, and then Thursday, Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. or, you know, whatever it is. So there was no question about it. I don't have to say, oh, can you get her up and feed her breakfast? You know, it's a known thing, because then there's none of that nagging. There's none of that, you know, fighting over a schedule thing. You just get up and do it because that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, that's great.
So awesome.
Yeah, having a new baby with a new schedule, I mean, yeah, that's a game changer. So, I mean, yeah, you just y'all got your schedule, and yeah, that's good.
Otherwise, I'm just a nagging witch every day, and
yeah,
you know.
You're not the only one, I promise.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Question. I was thinking.
If you have any questions, you can raise your hand or unmute yourself.
Did you have that? I don't know what that means.
No, I need to.
Anybody have a question they want to ask?
What?
I don't know.
I don't see anyone. That was so good, Sarah. I'm so thankful you did this for us, for sure. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
You were skipping.
Is it delayed?
It was a little bit. It's okay. It's back.
Okay.
I hope you guys crush your training and finish out strong, and you guys will all do big things this year. I'm excited to see you all at Summit, and yeah, I'm really awkward in person, so just beware. I won't remember anybody's name.
That's okay. Well, thank you so much. Sarah, we'll give you the recording.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.